This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
The re-election of Donald Trump and some of the crazy things that have happened, we've definitely seen that trend continue. I think it's partly the cost of living and partly the uncertainty.
Global tensions and rising food costs, how Vancouver Islanders are turning to their backyards for food production. Also tonight.
Instead of just trickling in, it just started and went to high right away, which is unusual. We don't usually see that.
Itchy eyes and runny nose? You're not alone. Why allergy season is hitting the island hard this year. Plus, Adam finds out how a rescue bird named Bruce discovered a unique talent and made an unexpected friend. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with a literal growing trend as the price of healthy food and produce skyrockets in Canada amid tariff wars and global conflicts. From gardens to backyard chickens to seed production, Islanders are doing it all. CTV's Anna McMillan unpacks the local food security movement and explores why farmers say cost is just one of several factors encouraging people to become more self-sufficient.
Over the past few years, Solera Goldwyn says demand for backyard gardens like hers has been growing, really taking off during the pandemic.
Initially, it was more literacy around, our global food system and the precarity of that. And then also people were spending more time in their homes.
Goldwyn says that interest persists, and as a result, her company's been busy. She owns Hatchet and Seed, which builds food gardens for people in Greater Victoria.
Now it seems to be there's a lot of dialogue around the importance of local food, or just, this global food system that we're so reliant on.
She says that conversation is fueled in part by food costs.
Setting up an edible landscape is expensive. There's upfront costs, but then over time there is payoff.
Statistics Canada says last month at the grocery store, food prices rose 4.4% compared to March of last year. The cost of fresh vegetables went up almost 8%.
It's definitely thousands of dollars that you can save by growing your own food, especially if you're growing things by seed.
This is a carrot.
A local farmer says there's no food security without seed security.
It is the foundation of most of what we do, and yet we import an estimated 97% of the vegetable seed that's grown in Canada every year.
Fiona Hammersley Chambers says most distributors import their seeds from the international market. She grows and sells her own here at Machosen Farm.
At the start of the pandemic, in the first 6 weeks, our seed sales online went up 5,000%. And the big seed houses ran out of seeds. And so for small growers like us, and there are small seed farms across Canada, it was a huge opportunity.
An opportunity with a lasting impact. Hammersley Chambers says now her seed sales are up 40% compared to this time last year.
Since the re-election of Donald Trump and some of the crazy things that have happened, we've definitely seen that trend continue. I think it's partly the cost of living and partly the uncertainty.
The movement is also making its mark a few minutes down the road at Kate Fraser's farm.
People are bringing food back closer to home.
Fraser owns Rent the Chicken Victoria, loaning chickens and their coops to roughly 35 homes a year. She says the number of rentals has been growing by about 10% annually.
With the shift towards homesteading, people are looking for reliable, sustainable food sources, so having backyard chickens is one of the easiest ways to do it.
She's also a beekeeper and a gardener and is encouraging others to give it a try.
It's not overwhelming, and it doesn't have to be costly. There are even patio plants that are designed to be on your patio.
Goldwyn says you can start small with herbs and lettuce, and Hammersley Chambers says mistakes are inevitable.
It's fine. Seeds want to grow. They have millions of years perfecting this.
Now is a perfect time to start growing your own food.
The hope is as more people get growing, they can cut costs, get outside, and contribute to the creation of a food system that's more sustainable and secure. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Now to a worrying trend off BC's coast. Researchers are seeing a surge in gray whale deaths, with 4 of the marine mammals found dead in just 10 days. A CTV's Andy Garland reports scientists say the deaths are likely related to a weak food supply in Alaskan waters. And a warning, some viewers may find the images in this story disturbing.
4 gray whales have been reported dead in the past 10 days along Vancouver Island's coast.
These initial reports were floating carcasses, so we were able to get there, locate, secure, and then tow the animal to the Institute of Ocean Sciences, where we did these necropsies.
And these gray whales were found extremely emaciated.
The underlying kind of consistent thing we're seeing is very skinny animals, with certain animals that are really a bag of bones.
The same thing is being seen along the U.S. coast, including Washington State.
This year we've been facing record numbers of gray whales washing up dead, and they've been coming at a very rapid rate.
Researchers with Cascadia Research Collective in Tacoma have recorded 15 deaths this year.
It's kind of alarmed us at the pace and how early in the season that's occurring.
Experts north and south of the border are collaborating with each other to help these marine mammals and are pointing the finger at the gray whale's summer feeding grounds in the Arctic.
Changing food abundance in the Arctic and subarctic feeding grounds is contributing to the malnutrition, lowered breeding rates, as well as the mortalities.
As gray whales are making their way back to the Arctic to their summer feeding grounds, what we're seeing is some of those whales don't have enough reserves from last year to make it back.
Whales can typically survive this several months fast. It clearly shows this is the toughest time for them to make it through.
The effects of climate change in the Arctic with the change in water temperature has affected prey availability in numbers and quality.
That has contributed, it's thought, to the malnutrition and the decreased birth rates and the deaths that we're seeing right now.
The worst gray whale mortality year was in 2019, with 11 reported deaths on our coast. Andy Garland, CTV News.
For people on Vancouver Island, allergy season isn't just annoying this year, it's worse than anywhere else in Canada, at least for now. A new report from Aerobiology Research Laboratory shows Victoria and Vancouver are the worst places in Canada for tree pollen allergies. It's all thanks to our mild temperatures through winter and spring, resulting in early and high-intensity pollen strikes. The report shows high levels of birch, maple, cedar, and oak tree pollen, along with grass pollen, are rising earlier than usual. That has a lot of folks out here suffering from itchy eyes, runny noses, and worsening asthma. Experts say this year in particular is unusual.
This year it came in at low, and within a week or two it was at very high levels, and it hasn't even stopped. So we've seen alder, we've seen cedar, we've seen elm, we've seen all of these different tree varieties, and they're still sticking around. But what now is coming into play, those pollen types are still around, and now we're seeing birch and oak come into play as well, and they're extremely allergenic.
Researchers say pollen levels have nearly doubled over the past 20 years, creating longer, more intense seasons. Health experts suggest limiting outdoor activity when pollen counts are high, closing windows, skipping outdoor laundry, and using non-drowsy allergy medications to relieve symptoms. 2 independent reviews have found no evidence of systemic failures within the Victoria Police Department that contributed to the collapse of a major drug prosecution. We bring in Anna McMillan now. The department's policies and procedures got the all clear, while an investigation into individual officer conduct continues. Anna.
The Victoria Police investigation that sparked these reviews was called Project Juliet, and when it fell apart, charges were stayed against 3 men who'd been described as being at the top of the fentanyl trafficking pyramid. That was over 2 years ago, and shortly after, former Vic PD board member Paul Schachter filed a Police Act complaint to explore whether any of the department's policies, procedures, or training contributed to the demise of the drug trafficking case.
Should this investigation have proceeded in this manner? Was it properly managed? Were the procedures in place?
The Project Juliet prosecution fell apart over the involvement of a constable who was being investigated by the RCMP for corruption. He was later suspended, but before that, he worked on the initial drug trafficking investigation. A BC Supreme Court decision claims other officers failed to disclose his involvement, effectively misleading the court.
Both independent external reviews concluded that there was no evidence of systemic failure in Vic PD's general direction, management, or operation.
Those findings were reviewed by Vic PD's board on Tuesday. They come from investigations into the complaint by the Delta and Surrey police departments. The complainant is considering requesting a review of the results by the police complaint commissioner.
Is this a individual constable mistake or is it a management mistake? And I think you have to say, well, it could be both.
While Vic PD as an institution has been cleared, individual officers involved with Project Juliet have not. Another Police Act probe is ongoing, looking into individual allegations of misconduct. The Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner declined to comment on the investigation, citing confidentiality rules under the Police Act.
Anna, thank you. There was a 40th birthday celebration this afternoon in Victoria's Inner Harbor for the FRS Clipper. The party took place aboard the Emerald Clipper, which is the company's newest 31-meter state-of-the-art whale-watching catamaran. The Clipper has been connecting Seattle and Victoria since 1986, but has recently experienced some rough waters under the re-election of the Trump administration. In 2025, ridership was down roughly 25%. And those numbers are expected once again for this coming season. The Clipper says it has found success by growing its ridership through major sporting events.
Canadians are understandably reluctant in a lot of ways, and that's where we're working on finding things that resonate with Canadians. Sports is one of them. We've got some great partnerships with the Seattle Mariners, with the Seattle Seahawks, and sports are great because you can go down and you can be loyal to your team.
The company says it has carried more than 8 million guests between the two cities over its past 4 decades. Still to come, pushing back against tough guy culture.
We know that untreated pain is a really significant driver of the overdose crisis in this province.
It's people living with chronic pain and breaking down the stigma of getting help.
15 degrees in Victoria for a day. Oh, now you can update that to 16 for a daytime high as temperatures just ticked up. Even warmer in Nanaimo at 20 this afternoon. More sunshine, more above average temperatures. The forecast is next.
Well, Josh, not a fair 15, but a sweet 16 for us today.
Yeah, at least out at the harbor, 15 still, and that'll go down as the high at the airport. So a little bit warmer, which is a little unusual at the harbor. 20 degrees in Nanaimo and Port Alberni. It is a little windy, though. In Nanaimo, Comox has got wind up around 30 kilometers per hour with some gusts on top of that. I don't think too many areas are going to deal with much in the way of wind here over the next couple of days. Just some along the north coast. We'll see some gusts for coastal sections. Look at this big. You see the cloud cover arching up to the north? Big upper ridge, bubble of warm air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. And that is really going to dominate here over the course of the next couple of days and into the weekend. So clear skies tonight. Fairly clear skies through the day tomorrow, and it looks like a similar setup for Friday as well. Mainly sunny Thursday, Friday, maybe a bit of cloud cover on Saturday in the north. As we said, most areas light wind, but closer to the coast, we'll see gusts in the 50, maybe 60 kilometer per hour range. 14 tomorrow, and then 15 or 16 for daytime highs Friday through the weekend and into early next week. No sign of rain in the next 5 days. Mainly sunny Thursday through Sunday for inland areas. 20 degrees today in Port Alberni, 20 again tomorrow. Should hit 21 or 22 for daytime highs. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some cool mornings, though. Temperatures will be in the 1 to 4 degree range Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend in the mornings. Chance of some morning fog patches out along parts of the west coast. Otherwise, mainly sunny, 13 degrees tomorrow, 15s for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 12 is the average daytime high. So a couple of degrees above average there for Friday and the weekend. Sunshine in Comox, close to 20 tomorrow. 20 or 21 on Friday, and then high teens for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Maybe a little extra cloud cover there early next week. But for the next couple of days, sunshine and a handful of degrees above average. That's the case in Nanaimo as well. 19 with mainly sunny skies and fairly light wind tomorrow. Wind to be about 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. 14 is the average daytime high, so 5 degrees above average tomorrow. 20 or 21 on Friday, and still well above average into Saturday, Sunday with temperatures in the 18 or 19 degree range. We'll be around 8 degrees tomorrow morning here in Victoria. Mainly sunny skies. 17 for high tomorrow afternoon, so a couple degrees warmer than today. A few degrees cooler as you get closer to the water. That'll be the case again on Friday, 18. Out near the water, you'll be around 14 for a daytime high, and then close to 20 for daytime highs Saturday, Sunday with more sunshine. Even Monday, sunny with a few clouds and still nice and warm. 17 degrees. Average high for this time of year, 14 degrees. So the warm spell continues, and for at least the next 3 or 4 days, lots of sunshine in the forecast. And as we said, no sign of rain.
Yeah, teeing up a fantastic weekend. Thanks, Josh. Well, for those in the hard hat and hammer industries in BC, working through pain is often part of working. Trades, construction, shipbuilding often taking a deep toll on workers. This week, a new program is aiming to squash the culture of pain that's become part of the job. CTV's Brendan Strain has more.
Working in the skilled trades can take a toll on one's body, often resulting in long-term chronic pain.
I was 11 years old and I started in construction working for my stepdad.
Ben Marcellet went to university after graduation, then returned to the construction industry in his mid-20s.
But by that time, I had already done enough damage to my back that I was already having chronic pain.
He fought through it, knowing that the industry comes with a tough guy culture, often resulting in many left to suffer in silence. Ben had the support of his family to help him deal with that pain. Although many in the trades experiencing similar situations suffer from deteriorating mental health and often choose to self-medicate with drugs and alcohol.
We know that untreated pain is a really significant driver of the overdose crisis in this province.
In order to combat that stigma, Pain BC, through funding from the province, has now launched its Trades and Pain program, which offers expanded supports for tradespeople living with chronic pain. That includes creating a free, confidential text line that connects tradespeople to trained staff, beginning the process of getting those workers the help they need.
We needed to hit hard.
Through partners within the construction industry, these signs will begin popping up, directing workers to the resources they need.
They're saying these old attitudes are dumbass attitudes. We need to normalize talking about chronic pain on our job sites. We need to break the stigma. And the way we're going to do that is use the language of our workers.
A lot of it is mental health. A lot of it is guys get stuck in this depressive state of being in pain constantly.
Ben still suffers from back pain, but now he says he has the proper tools to deal with it. Still, in the construction industry, Ben sits on the Trades Advisory Committee, which helps shape the Trades and Pain program.
So you should not suffer in silence day by day.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
Coming up, bird berries. Adam finds out how a creative bird found an unexpected friend. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how a rescue bird named Bruce discovered a unique talent and made an unexpected friend on tonight's Best of Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Hey, buddy.
Tina Kermis has cared for a lot of rescued birds over the years.
Hi.
But none have compared to Bruce.
He has a sparkle in his eyes.
When the parrotlet wasn't playing fetch with Tina or cuddling with her on the couch, he was engaging in all sorts of conversations.
He's got a zest for life, is how I say it.
But it wasn't until after she adopted him from the exotic bird rescue she was volunteering at that Tina realized how much Bruce also relished raspberries.
He made a tremendous mess.
They would splatter up to 6 feet, Tina says, until she found a way to contain Bruce's barrage of berries under a clear dome and shared a picture of it on an online bird group.
I didn't realize, the impact that Bruce eating would have.
Tina started posting videos of more than eating, what seemed to be abstract art making on the paper that was placed under the dome, which earned tens of millions of views.
You know, I get comments like I had a really sad day, so much going on in the world, and then I saw this video and it made me so happy. And
so Tina published a pair of books about Bruce's berry art to raise money for local bird sanctuaries. Life was good. Until it suddenly wasn't.
He actually started having seizures.
Went blind in both eyes.
Which was terrible.
And stopped doing all the things he'd done before.
He's a good boy.
But then, while Tina and their vet worked tirelessly to care for Bruce, another rescued parrot named Mildred started unexpectedly flying over to help.
Mildred was showing Bruce where his food was, where his water was.
Along with physically attending to Bruce, Mildred was caring for him emotionally, too.
She's helped him so much. He's getting around really well.
And while Tina couldn't be more grateful that Bruce has recovered some sight in one eye, put on weight, and was even caught on camera returning to his berry dome, she's most grateful that Bruce and Mildred have become the best of friends.
And he's happy. You can see like the little sparkle in his eyes. You know, he's got a friend who's helping him unconditionally. It's huge.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.